Welcome fans to WCW Monday Nitro, and you are looking live as the limousine is pulled up here to the United Center, the home of the world champion Chicago Bulls. Tonight is the home of professional wrestling's #1 program, Nitro Live, and oh my goodness, that is an NWO limousine. Tony Schiavone, Larry Zbyszko, Mike Tenay.
There they are, the Rat Pack.
And as they make their way here, Larry, if you'll look.
Different pay parade, the city of champions. Hey, it's Denise Rodman.
Dennis Rodman, the Worm is here.
Now there's a pair of world champions.
That's what he said, he's right.
The madness, the outsider, the six-pack, the dedication.
Apparently right to the entranceway, right to the ring area here.
They're coming right out here.
The opening moments of WCW Monday Nitro, Hulk Hogan, Dennis Rodman, together, Eric Bischoff in tow, and two men who will form a gigantic tag team at the main event at Bash of the Beach on July 13th. What a duo this is, Mike Tenay.
Well, an incredible reception for Rodman, Hogan, the entire New World Order at the United Center in Chicago, the home of the world champions.
I don't know if you ask me, I think the New World Order's grabbing at straws, and standing next to Hollywood, Rodman looks like a straw.
You see this capacity crowd on hand, standing as the world heavyweight champion Hollywood Hulk Hogan and the Worm Dennis Rodman are in. And Eric Bischoff has the microphone.
Nothing but love for you people. Nothing but love for you people. Hi, Ryan. Welcome aboard, man. It is too sweet to have you here. Two world champions right before our eyes. Oh, my God. And now we're counting down to July 13th. Bash at the Beach. The Giant and Luger want a piece of this?
You know, all my NWOites in Chi-Town, they feel the same way about the Giant and Luger as they do about Utah, brah. And you know, when you got Rod the Bod, the Dirty Dog Dennis Rodman, as your tag team partner, you are guaranteed victory. 4 times world champion, 6 times rebounding champion. We called my mother a few minutes ago and told her we already beat him up, that we already won, because it's in the house, brah.
The Hogan lying to his mother.
You know, the outsiders got me on my toes. They told me to change with the times. They brought me up to speed. I love those guys. And my man, the six-pack, he can do it all night long. But they did it for us last night. And tonight, me and Rodman decided that we're gonna flush that no-good stinky giant out and Flexi Lexi. And if they got the guts to come out here, I'm gonna let Rodman beat both of them up by himself right here tonight.
How about that?
Hey, kid, that's a
wanna
stupid
see that?
statement.
How about that?
And you know what? The whole world knows that Dennis Rodman is a man of few words, don't we? But I know, Hot Rod, you got something you want to say about Luger and the Giant.
Are we ready to rock tonight? I can't hear you. Are we ready to roll? Yeah. Me and my man Hollywood, Rod the Bod here. You know, we got Lex Luthor, we got the Giant in the back there, you know. You know, the Giant may be bigger than me. He may be bigger than me, but you know what they say, the old cliche? The bigger they are, that's right, baby. So Giant Lex Luthor, where you at? Hey, the way I feel, Rod, bring him out here at any time during Nitro, and I'll watch your back, and I want you to body slam that stinky giant for me. Everybody knows, Bischoff, that I can destroy Luger now.
Like that, like that. So Luger Giant, they're ready for you. Come and get a little piece of this. Hit the music.
So the NWO, led by Eric Bischoff, the world champion, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, and the man they're calling Hot Rod the Bod, Dennis Rodman, out here not wanting to wait really until July 13th. They said, let's flush them out. Let's bring them out right now as we kick off 2 hours of WCW Monday Nitro, guys.
You know, looking at Rodman makes me sorry I was born in Chicago.
Well, let's see Dennis Rodman in action. We see him against some of the biggest stars in sports. Let's see him against the biggest athlete in all of professional
The
sports,
guy's
the
a nothing.
Giant.
He's the man of 1,000 fouls. That's it.
But he's the type of guy, Larry, we've said this all along, that likes to hit you from behind, sneak attack, and that's all what they're about.
Look, I'm not arguing. He fits right into the new world order because that's what they are, a bunch of cowards, a bunch of backstabbers, and Rodman's no different than any of them.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WCW Monday Nitro. During the course of this telecast, you'll recall last night at the Great American Bash in Moline, Illinois, a big question was asked. What happened to the Nature Boy, Ric Flair? He and Syxx battled all the way back to the locker room. We never saw him again. But here tonight with us is Ric Flair, and we'll have that question answered, Mike Tenay.
Well, there are a lot of questions about Ric Flair's association with Roddy Piper. Also, Diamond Dallas Page is certainly feeling the after effects of last night's war with Randy Savage. We hope to get all those questions answered in this broadcast.
Medusa had her career come to an end last night. Also, the Outsiders are still the World Tag Team Champs. The Great American Bash was quite a night last night, Larry.
Yeah, it was a big event, and I called the Medusa match. I knew Sonny Ono tricked her and trapped her, and now she's going to be destined to a kitchen.
Let's go to the ring. The opening bout with you on WCW Monday Nitro. You look at this great crowd on hand. Capacity crowd here with us tonight. One of the matches last night, gentlemen, saw Glacier face Wrath. Glacier continues the undefeated string, but in the same breath, Mike Tenay, Glacier continues to be beaten unmercifully after the match concludes. And here comes Mortis to open up our program.
Well, correct you are, Tony. Glacier still unbeaten after the Great American Bash with that victory over Wrath. but I guess you might say that he won the battle but lost the post-match war. Mortis, as we see him come to the ring with James Vandenberg, was handcuffed at ringside. However, Vandenberg was able to get the key to the cuffs. They uncuffed Mortis and they handcuffed Glacier to the ring ropes, and they beat him after the match.
Which one's his real head?
Nevertheless, fans, we want to let you know that if you missed the Great American Bash last night, the encore presentation will be on Request TV, and that will be beginning tomorrow night. So you can join us for the encore presentation of the Great American Bash. Some of the most brutal matches we have ever seen in our sport, brutal feuds, and I'm not so sure how much got settled between Glacier and Vandenberg. I know it's good to see Glacier back, but as you said, Mike, once he was handcuffed and once he was double teamed, we didn't know how severe the injuries would be.
Well, it's been obvious from the outset that Vandenberg has one thing in mind. He, Wrath, and Mortis share a common goal, and that is the total destruction of Glacier.
Fans, if you just joined us, what an electrifying entrance Dennis Rodman made right on this program with Hulk Hogan. They are here tonight in the building. They've called out Lex Luger and the Giant already. We haven't had an answer as of yet, but here we go. The opening bout, and Mortis and Glacier not waiting for the ring here, Larry.
Well, you know, Glacier, I mean, with all the discipline he has, he's going to have to widen his spectrum and realize that this is not one-on-one competition anymore. He's got an army against him, Vandenberg and the rest of his rare oddities. And one man against an army, I don't care how disciplined you are, just isn't going to be enough. Oh, wow!
Whoa, what a move. That's, and there's a kick by Glacier. Glacier, we talked about this and discussed it last night. Glacier has really picked up the intensity and has done some things uncharacteristic of Glacier. But I guess when you're handcuffed and beaten unmercifully like you were last night, like Glacier was, then you have to fight fire with fire here, Mike.
Well, this trio of terror, Vandenberg, Wrath, and Mortis, have caused Glacier to deviate from his usual offensive game plan. We've talked about this before. He was taught that the most versatile, most lethal way to attack and use the hands is with open hands, but he's even resorted to using closed fists. I think the biggest problem is Glacier doesn't really have anyone in his corner. He needs someone to watch his back.
Well, it's going to be a true test of his mastery of discipline. Will he keep his composure? Will he think with his head? Or will he become emotionally unstable and make every mistake in the book? True test for Glacier, but not a nice one.
Here tonight, fans, Syxx of the NWO, the Cruiserweight Champ, will defend his belt against former champion Rey Mysterio Jr., Chris Jericho, the Ultimate Dragon, plus Steve Mongo McMichael and Jeff Jarrett against Bagwell and Norton of the NWO. And there you see the big man Wrath is out. Oh boy! And that time Mortis rides Glacier face first to the middle.
Glacier's out.
As Wrath looks on 1, 2. Well, you can see this coming again.
Well, you certainly can. It's a pattern that's been developing ever since Vandenberg arrived in the scene.
He's going up.
There it is. He motions for Wrath to jump up on the apron.
See, this is what Glacier's going to have to come face to face with. He nice reverse in here, but has he got anything left in him?
Wrath goes down the chronic kick. Glacier covers 1, 2, and he wins again. Glacier wins again, and here we go. Glacier double teamed last night.
Didn't have enough left. The big man got him.
I mean, we've seen this so many times. Mortis is still down. Glacier fighting for all he's worth here, trying to fight off this big man, but I don't think he can.
Wait a minute, Vandenberg's got the handcuffs.
Again, you're right, Mike. He has handcuffs. They're going to try to do it one more time. Mortis finally to his feet with help from the big man Wrath, and here it comes.
They got him again.
This is like 4 or 5 straight times.
Hey, that's Ernie Miller.
Ernest Miller has arrived again.
Remember, we saw him at Slamboree in Charlotte, North Carolina. We thought it was a fan coming out of the audience, but it was Ernest Miller, a martial arts star, very accomplished champion in kickboxing and karate.
And he's holding both men off. Look at this, if you will. They are not even trying to go toward him. Now, he calls Mortis in, nails Mortis. Glacier's got Wrath. And finally, Glacier was, oh my goodness, what a kick on both ends. And out goes Vandenberg's man.
But it looks like Glacier Oh, there's more company.
Yeah, here comes security led by Doug Dillinger. They are just really trying to hold them back.
Glacier's holding off security.
You're not kidding. This capacity crowd looking on here at the United Center as Ernest Miller has come in to help Glacier to watch his back. Desperately needed this. And what a man to have as your ally here, Larry Zbyszko.
Well, you know, it's interesting. Glacier needs a man, and obviously too proud, too disciplined to ask for it. Nice to see Miller's got the guts to just jump right in there when he's needed. These guys could go well together.
What a wild way to open up Nitro. Back with more on TNT after this.
We are back with more WCW Monday Nitro here in Chicago and all across America. Last night at the Great American Bash, this young lady whose career I have followed so very closely, her career has come to an end. You wanted a title shot, you put your career on the line, you lost last night in Moline. Medusa, has all of this sunk in yet?
I came out here to say something that last night was the end of my wrestling career. I am a woman of my word, and it was career versus title last night, and I ended my career. And Gene, I can't believe that I'm out here tonight.
Take it easy. This is something that's going to take some time.
To say that I just want to say thanks, that it's to every one of you out there that has made Medusa who she is today. And I just want to say thanks for all the support from all my fans, my family, and my friends. And I love what I do. And in my heart, I'll always be a wrestler. And Gene,
Take it easy. Saying her goodbyes tonight here in Chicago.
I just can't believe I'm in front of everybody saying that it's the end of my career. And I just want to say goodbye. And I love you all, man.
Thank you, Medusa. What a touching moment here in Chicago. Tony, back to you.
Well, that's actually very sad. And, you know, as she really, if you go back last night, Mike, we were all there. You go back last night, she really poured her heart and soul in her career and exemplified that in the match, in the effort that she gave last night against Hokuto. But the knee gave out when she attempted a double axe hand over the top, gave out. Hokuto, realizing it was a career, or it was a knee that jeopardized her career earlier, and she went right for that, nothing she could do.
And you certainly can't blame Hokuto for taking advantage of that injury. All those years of dedication for Medusa, we have to say, down the drain.
All right. Last week on this program, Melenko lost the U.S. Heavyweight Championship because of this incident. Out comes Eddie Guerrero. And as Jeff Jarrett is face down, as Malenko is face up, the frog splash connected. And that led to the figure four that gave Jeff Jarrett the United States Heavyweight Championship. And he left a clue as well. And I think Melenko knows exactly what it meant.
Well, after seeing the video, Malenko doesn't need any clue.
I'm standing right here in the ring. If you're in the building tonight, I'm giving you the opportunity to face me like a man. Guerrero, it's your call.
So a challenge to Eddie Guerrero here.
Well, you can't blame him. Look what Eddie did to the man.
And after seeing that frog splash last week on Monday Nitro, I don't think there's any question about the condition of Eddie Guerrero. Obviously, the injury that he suffered, that torn pec muscle, he's back at 100%.
All right, what's going to happen here now as he calls out Guerrero here on WCW Monday Nitro, and he's, well, by golly, he's going to get
A Guerrero.
It is Chavo Guerrero Jr. making his way with a determined look on his face. I mean, power walking into the ring. look at the Iceman, would you?
Yeah, but you know what he's thinking? Why is Eddie sending out Chavo Jr.?
Well, who knows if Eddie is sending out Chavo Jr.
He didn't challenge Chavo Jr.
Well, he said Guerrero now. We all said, well, he's calling Eddie out, and there's a guy with the last name of Guerrero. You want a Guerrero? You got one, and here we go.
Well, Chavo Jr., the nephew of Eddie, but they basically grew up as brothers because they're so close in age.
And here's what Malenko thinks of the Guerrero family. The only problem is there's so many Guerreros, he's going to get caught in that same trap where you beat one, you got to beat 50 of them.
Fans still to come. We're going to hear from the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, about what happened last night, helping the Outsiders retain the World Tag Team Championship when he was involved in a bitter fight with Syxx, and they fought all the way to the dressing room. We thought maybe he had been ambushed, knocked out. We don't know what happened, but he didn't make it back, and we'll be talking to him a little bit later on in this program. We know Rodman and Hogan are here, and they have already called out the Giant and Lex Luger here tonight on Nitro.
Chavo tried to follow up that flying head scissors with a drop kick, and Malenko just fly swatted him away.
And the Iceman follows him in with a great running lariat that time. And now to the mat and back up Chavo Jr. into the corner again. Malenko is so quick. Slides on the outside, he's going for the leg.
You know, different style too. The man who knows so much mat wrestling, he's not using any. This is pure bitterness against the Guerreros, and he's hurting his kid.
And Malenko's so smart, working over that leg, sets it up on the steel guardrail, and then drop kicks it. I'm sure trying to work on the knee, on the leg, to set up his patented Texas Cloverleaf.
There's no question about that, but I bet you tonight the Cloverleaf gets put on. He's going to try to maybe injure someone, and that someone would be Chavo. We've seen Chavo so many times, though. He has a lot of heart, a lot of tenacity. He'll stay in this fight as long as it takes, even if he gets crashed into the rail like you saw right there. Slow to get to his feet. Melenko back up top now.
Well, he went up to break the count. Now he's coming back down. Throw him in.
Good call, Larry. He went up, broke the count, came back in, and here we go one more time. Speaking of bitter battles, fans, we want you to join us for the encore presentation of the Great American Bash. Here's a roll-up 1, 2, got a 2 count, and that comes your way beginning tomorrow night. Call your local cable operator and be a part of the encore of the Great American Bash, and you'll see one of the most fierce battles we've ever seen, and actually much what we thought between Diamond Dallas and the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Did you see Diamond Dallas's face?
Yeah, earlier today. Incredible, huh?
Looked like about 15 potatoes piled in one spot.
1, 2. Look at this. He had a chance for a press, but he is still looking around. He is still expecting now maybe Eddie to show up here. Did you notice that, Mike?
Absolutely did. It seemed like he was looking to see if Eddie Guerrero was going to make his way to ringside. We rarely see Dean Malenko unfocused.
Oh, it landed.
Good quickness exhibited that time by Chavo Jr. Pounding on the back of a big uppercut that time. Not much effect though on Melenko, but he's shooting the right side. Melenko up, down, great move that time. Melenko gets a press, 1, 2, and he almost pinned him on that one.
Yeah, nice reversal by Melenko right there. You know, he's almost making a mistake by being so mad. Melenko great on the mat, and that's where you want Guerrero. Flatten him on the mat.
The flapjack maneuver that time has him down. He is going for the Texas Cloverleaf, and by golly, Eddie Guerrero has arrived.
Too little, too late.
He's arrived, he's watching what's going on, and there, the Texas Cloverleaf is applied.
Yeah, look at, and then he's just standing up there.
How come he's not coming down to help out his nephew?
Afraid of Malenko.
You think that's the case?
Well, what else? He's probably going to figure out what other Guerrero he can send against Malenko.
That's a very different facial expression we've ever seen. Almost a smirk on the face of Eddie Guerrero. Did not come down to help out his nephew Chavo Jr. And it's almost as if he's kind of luring Malenko towards him here. Malenko is going towards Eddie Guerrero.
Malenko better be careful. There might be 50 Guerreros back there.
I think Eddie's backpedaling is what he's doing.
Well, you may be right. He is gone out through the entranceway to the back locker room area. We're going to take one more look at what happened here. He did not help out his nephew, Larry.
No, right here, look at Malenko, picked him up, and watch the drop here. Held him with the blood get to the head, smacked him down. Malenko with those eyes, he saw Eddie standing there, put the cloverleaf on, in the position where he could eye up and keep his whereabouts. on Eddie Guerrero, who just stood there and watched this young cousin suffer. He's got a plan.
Fans, you know that Hogan and Rodman are here tonight. And they have called out Luger and the Giant. We have not heard from them as of yet, and still to come, we will hear from the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. What happened last night? And more great WCW action coming up live next. And be sure to join us for the 1-hour edition of WCW Saturday Night. This coming Saturday at 6:05 Eastern Time. In action this Saturday, Chris Jericho, Harlem Heat, the Total Package Lex Luger, the Giant, and many others. And I will be joined by Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, this Saturday at 6:05 p.m. It's WCW Saturday Night on TBS, the Superstation. Now fans, tonight, WCW Internet Insiders premiered earlier tonight.
One of your greatest matches.
Mean Gene Okerlund
with the Jack Briscoe,
talking,
with the Dory Bomb,
and Mark Madden talking to the Nature Boy Ric Flair. That premiered earlier tonight. The replay is available at WCWWrestling.com.
You know, Mark Madden came through, and I will be at the Chicago Classic this week, and I will go home with the gold myself.
Is that an internet thing he's talking about, Mike?
Must be either that or a golf game, one or the other.
A golf game. Be sure to, on the internet, be sure to browse on to WCWWrestling.com and join us for the premiere of the Internet Insiders that premiered earlier live tonight.
And we'll be sure to check in next Monday with Larry to see how well he did in the tournament.
Yeah, boy.
The check will already be cashed.
Check is in the mail, right? All right, Super Calo, or Super Calo, actually the pronunciation of his name, from Mexico, making his way to the ring. And here's a man who's had a little bit of a problem
with the dentist?
With another Mexican superstars. We're going to take a look at what happened a week ago here on WCW Monday Nitro. Let's show you the footage. Celebration during that wild Lucha Libre 6-man tag, but La Parka was not finished. Hit him hard with a chair. Threw the wooden chair at him, and look at this, drop kicked him using the chair up against the head.
What an assault on the part of La Parka, turning on Super Calo in this match. Remember, earlier in that bout, there was a spot with the chair involved.
Absolutely. Also, it really intensified this past Saturday, a couple of days ago on WCW Saturday Night, another 6-man tag, and both men get involved again. And so these two are having their share of problems. Because of that, we have this one-on-one matchup for you here on WCW Monday Nitro. La Parka and Super Calo, Mike, today.
Well, La Parka is recognizable as the largest of all the luchadors, as the wrestlers from Mexico are known. But whatever you do not underestimate his ability to fly. He can really move for a man of his size. You take a look at that mask and the outfit. They're patterned after a spiritual character from Mexico's Day of the Dead, which is a Halloween-like tradition. La Parka now in his 10th year as a professional wrestler.
And Super Calo, fans, just about a year ago, suffered an injury, an elbow injury that took him out of action for a little while, but he has been one of the most spectacular athletes we have seen come out of Mexico, and you can see that there is problems already, and Mark Curtis will begin this match here on WCW Monday Nitro. Ladies and gentlemen, Ric Flair is the Nature Boy, and Syxx will defend the Cruiserweight Championship. Speaking of superstars from Mexico, later on against Rey Mysterio Jr. live here tonight. Look how he can walk that rope. Oh boy, and look how he can take a tumble on a running lariat from La Parka.
Yeah, well, La Parka caught him that time. He missed the first move. I thought the Day of the Dead might be getting closer to him than he wanted, but he's coming back again, largest of the luchadors, and he can use his weight to some advantage here with the way he moves.
Calo just 4.5 years of pro experience under his belt. His stint in WCW accounts for his first venture into international rings. Quick cover,
and got a 2 that time.
Calo has been so impressive in making a successful transition, adapting to the different styles. This actually the first singles match ever between these two. Opposition last week in the 6-man tag. They've also been partners before in 6-man tags in Mexico.
Into the ropes and a shoulder running tackle that time. Here he goes, near side. La Parka, we talked about his size and an arm drag takedown by Calo. Obviously has the quickness advantage here. Calo waiting, sending the man over. Oh boy, and almost all the way out of the ring.
Well, that's what Calo's going to have to do. Use the speed. Don't go for the body weight and strength. It's the science that put down the beast.
Up on top, Calo, and another version of an arm drag takedown. and sends Parka on the outside.
Yeah, but that's not safe when these guys from Mexico are. Oh, man! They're gone!
Tremendous move, suicide dive, almost a flip splash, and he back body dropped him up and over the steel. Where'd he end up, in the second row?
I think we got 3 fans ready for the Day of the Dead.
Yeah, you're not kidding. I mean, he scooted all the way out over the top of the safety rail, and both men are back inside now, and both men are hurt.
Well, these guys take more risks than Evel Knievel did, and they don't have a motorcycle. These guys are insane.
He's going to try something again, baseball slide, and that time Parka moved inside. Calo back in to get him.
He outquicked him that time, and when Calo got back in the ring, he met him with a clothesline.
Outquicked, is that a word?
It is now. Back to the attack one more time. Parka into the far side. Ripped him up, and then an elbow on the back of the head. Oh, boy.
Yeah, see, Parka's real good at following up in combinations. Whether it's a move or a hand or a foot, he's always got 2 or 3 moves at one time, and that's what makes him successful. Not the size, not the muscle, it's the combination wrestling.
In the weeks to come, in the months to come, we are going to find out more about pro wrestling in Mexico. Thanks to our colleague here, Mike Tenay, who's going to be going down to Mexico, Mike. And I know you're excited about that.
Absolutely, headed to Mexico and Mexico City in the next couple of months, and we'll have plenty of video features upcoming on TNT and TBS.
Here's the cover, 1, 2, got a 2 count.
Can't hold him down. Calo's fighting. I mean, he does not want to lose. This must be a big, I mean, in Mexico, if the word gets back, it's the first time these 2 guys wrestled.
First ever singles match. Corkscrew moonsault does not connect.
This is going to make somebody a hero south of the border.
And the Calo back up quickly and grabs the mask and takes the man down.
Mask almost came off.
You're not kidding. Calo here. Up on the...
Is that bad in Mexico if the mask comes off?
That's very bad. It's actually a disqualification in Mexico if you unmask your opponent.
It is?
How about that? Here's a cover. 1, 2, 3, and he wins it.
He got him.
Super Calo with the win.
See, you never know. I would have bet the poke on the Parka.
It's going to be a big win for him, Mike.
Certainly is. A landmark victory for Calo, but Parka's not going to settle for that. Look at this attack. The knee between the shoulder blades, and now attack on the floor, and he's going under the ring.
He's looking for something.
Got a chair.
He found a chair. Oh, my goodness.
He found Calo's noggin.
A hard plastic chair that broke over the head of Calo, and he basically is out here, but that is not stopping Parka.
Calo's out.
He's going to try it again. All right, let's go now to our Valvoline replay. Valvoline, of course, used by America's top mechanics as Mark Curtis stands between the combatants. Here it is again, Larry.
Well, look at here. Parka was using his weight and size, had the advantage. Calo using his speed, caught up in points. Maybe he winded the man, I don't know, but after the match, Calo stuck around too long, and Parka said, hey, man, take a siesta.
People who know use Valvoline. The winner, Super Calo, here live on WCW Monday Nitro. In this first hour now, let's go back to Mean Gene.
Tony, I thank you very much. It is live, and it's getting livelier. It is hot, and it is getting hotter here in Chicago. Please join me in welcoming to the Windy City, the total package, Lex Luger, and the awesome Giant.
Let's not forget what we heard at the top of the program from Hogan and Dennis Rodman. The fans on their feet here at the United Center.
Yeah, Hollywood and the Worm wanted the Giant Luger, and here they come, and they're bigger than ever.
Oh, my. Gentlemen, come on in. The Giant Lex Luger, I'm certain you heard earlier on in this very television program the comments of the Worm, Dennis Rodman, and Hollywood Hulk Hogan. They say it's a no-go for the Bash at the Beach, July the 13th in Daytona. Lex Luger.
Well, let's get one thing established. We do have a contract to wrestle them at Bash at the Beach, correct?
You do indeed. I don't know if it's going to hold up, though. These guys say no-go.
Well, I'm sure they'll honor it because, you know, was that really Dennis Rodman? He is just so cool. And was that really Hollywood Hogan live and in living color right here in this building?
I believe it was, Lex.
Wow. I mean, the Giant and I didn't ride here in a limo, and we didn't bring our shades. And I don't even smoke cigars. Those guys are so confident and so cool. They're world champions. We don't even have any titles. But you know what, Hollywood Hogan? You weren't so cool last week when I put you in the rack and you were staring at the lights on national TV and you said, I give, I give.
We heard him.
That's right.
And last week, the Giant was in Germany. But this week, he's by my side. But they are so confident. I don't know, Giant, we're dressed and everything, but maybe we should just throw in a towel today and just head back to the hotel. What do you think?
Giant.
Rodman! Hogan! I've got the guts, and I've got the guns, and I've got the choke slam! Come and get it!
All right, apparently that is a challenge, Lex Luger.
I think what the Giant's trying to say in his own way is, yeah, there's bad speech, but if we're so easy, if we're such pushovers, why not right here tonight in Chicago? We'll answer the bell. How about you?
How about that, ladies and gentlemen? I can't believe it. The challenge has been made by the Giant and Lex Luger. They want Rodman and Hogan tonight here at Nitro. Will that happen? Apparently it will. Stay tuned. We are live on TNT. This is Nitro.
We have major news here on WCW Monday Nitro. Challenges issued, challenges accepted, and later on tonight, Dennis Rodman, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, you will not have to wait till the 13th of July. They will face Luger and the Giant. It's going to be a debut for the world. Dennis Rodman wrestling later on here tonight, Mike, today.
Nitro seems to outdo itself each and every week, and you're right, tonight we will see Rodman and Hogan against Luger and the Giant.
You know, the kid are shooting their big mouths off, saying that they wanted Luger and the Giant, and they got him. You take a look at the Giant, he falls down, he'll be back in Germany. That's how big he is.
That is later on, ladies and gentlemen, hour number 2, live here tonight on WCW Monday Nitro. And as the amazing French Canadians with Colonel Parka make their way in, Mike, today, during the break, our fans saw some of the great WCW events coming their way. And I tell you, the remainder of June and July is going to be very big for World Championship Wrestling.
Going to be red hot, and next Monday we will bring Nitro to Macon, Georgia. Tickets are available now at the Coliseum box office and all Ticketmaster outlets. Friday, June the 27th, we'll be in Fresno, California. And you can get tickets at the Selling Arena box office and Ticketmaster. The special Saturday Nitro event, no cameras, Saturday, June the 28th in Los Angeles. And tickets are available at the Great Western Forum box office and Ticketmaster. And then it's my hometown, Nitro, Monday, June the 30th in Las Vegas. The MGM Grand Garden box office, all Ticketmaster outlets as well in Vegas. Big, big month of June for WCW.
Okay, Mike, so you are the insider. Who's the Impact player making his debut in Vegas that night?
Yeah, you're always trapping me in a corner, bugging me. Now spread some news.
There's a million rumors flying at this point. I can't pin it down to one person.
Nevertheless, that's going to be a big night. And by the way, fans, WCWWrestling.com will have exclusive coverage of the Saturday Nitro from LA on Saturday, June 28th.
Well, that's big news. I got some bad news. These guys are, they're going to sing again.
Sing the national anthem with us. Hey, cameraman! Hey, cameraman!
They got him!
How about that?
They suckered the Heat in the corner!
That's exactly what they did, and the Heat, fresh off of that win last night, to make them #1 contenders for the World Tag Team Championship, to go on and face now the outsiders on the receiving end of this from the Canadians.
Yeah, you never take your eyes off an opponent in the ring, whether they're singing or not.
Oh, my.
And he hung Booker T.
Booker T hits hard that time.
That's a smart strategy, Tony. If they slow down Booker T, they're going to have a lot easier time. Booker T's the one with the fast movement.
And here's Colonel Parker stomping away. Remember, And ladies, looking at those two almost got married not too long ago. And now on either end of the tag team spectrum here, speaking of tag team action, you know, last night on the Great American Bash, it was apparent that the NWO wanted to dictate the next opponents for Hall and Nash, that they would go on to defeat Piper and Flair, which they did.
Yeah, it certainly seemed like they want to handpick their future opponents, with Vincent coming in for the disqualification and the Harlem Heat gaining the victory over the Steiner brothers.
The standard MO for cowards.
No question, and you can see the encore presentation beginning tomorrow night. Request TV, also on Viewer's Choice, Dish Network, and DirecTV. Make the appropriate phone call and see one of the hardest hitting pay-per-views ever, the Great American Bash. A pickup from Carl Ouellet, the big 300-pound man of the Canadians, up on top and drives all of that weight down across the chest. Here's a cover, and we got a 2 count. Also, a lot of things happened last night. Also, Nick Patrick, and Nick is just about at the end of his probationary period. I think based on what he did last night to try to come in and get some order restored to that Savage Page 2 match says a lot for Nick Patrick's reinstatement.
And he may have saved Diamond Dallas Page's career. At one point, it looked like the Macho Man Randy Savage was going to pile drive Page on the concrete, but Nick Patrick prevented it.
I don't know if I still trust Patrick or not. But I tell you, the amazing Canadians here, they caught the Heat off guard. They got Booker T in trouble, and they're keeping good ring positioning. If they can keep them down, they may not be able to. Booker got one in.
Booker T out of desperation now, nails Ouellet. And Carl Ouellet trying to make a tag, and he does. Jacques Rougeau will come in, and here comes Stevie Ray. Stevie Ray in, and quickly, Rougeau wants to shake hands. Stevie Ray will have none of it.
Yeah, he didn't fall for that one. You may fool the Harlem Heat once, but you're not going to fool him twice.
Scoop slam this time by the big man, Stevie Ray. And here he goes.
Oh!
The big kick on Rougeau. Rougeau on the outside, and here comes Booker T back again.
Yeah, and Ouellet here, this guy, the big guy, he's wobbly. And he's going up.
Colonel Parker without the boot, and there's the heat bomb on the other side. The boot.
Referee Nick Patrick can't make the count.
He cannot make the count, and there's the boot on the back of the head of Booker T. And Rougeau, who was the legal man anyway, will make the cover. 1, 2, didn't get it. And that was close. Hand was on the way down from Nick Patrick.
Booker T's fighting for his life. Now, I don't know, is that a good call by Patrick?
Well, what does a win by the Canadians, if they're able to pull the upset, what does that do to the #1 contender status of the Heat?
Tag was made, and there is the Big Apple.
We may not have to worry about that question.
I don't think
it's
we
over.
do.
You're exactly right. Tag made, Big Apple in the match. Harlem Heat, #1 contender. World Tag Team title continues their winning ways in World Championship Wrestling. And now, since the Outsiders retained the belts last night, they are next in line for a World Tag Team title shot. Obvious, that's what they wanted last night, Mike Tenay.
Well, it certainly was the game plan at the Great American Bash. As we see the replay with Rougeau using Colonel Parker's boot, it appeared that the Canadians were in control, but the Heat turned it around, gained the victory, and in my mind, they remain #1 contenders.
There it is, Harlem Heat gets a big win, still to come. Syxx, Rey Mysterio Jr. Cruiserweight Championship, and Ric Flair is here, plus the big main event. But right now, let's go to Mean Gene Okerlund.
Tony, I have with me the veteran chairman of the WCW Executive Committee, Mr. J.J. Dillon. Jim, very quickly, you heard the comments of Lex Luger and the Giant. They want Rodman and they want Hogan. They want him here tonight.
Well, it looks like Hogan and Rodman have issued a challenge. The challenge has been answered, and that's a real plum for Nitro.
All right, apparently there's some other business to be conducted at this time, and maybe you could address the concerns of the Harlem Heat and Sister Sherry.
Well, as you know, Gene, a match was ordered at the Great American Bash between the Steiner brothers and Harlem Heat to determine who should be next in line to deface the tag team champions, who are currently the Outsiders, Hall and Nash.
Gentlemen, one at a time, please. A little respect.
Now, when the match was over, Harlem Heat were declared the victors by disqualification. But, Gene, if there was ever a tainted victory.
There was interference there.
Wait a minute.
What are you talking about?
Wait just a minute. You said as long as we won. You didn't say how we won.
Let him finish.
It's very obvious to me that once again the NWO is attempting to manipulate the rankings, the standings, in order to handpick opponents. What other possible explanation could there be for Vincent coming down the ringside when the Steiners clearly had the upper hand, and as a result of his actions, the Steiners were penalized? I mean,
Gene Okerlund, this just another part of WCW and this crossover sucker right here. We know what's going on. We are the best.
Well, wait a minute. You might be in cahoots with this man, Vincent.
We're not in cahoots with anybody. If anybody knows us, they know we stand alone and we can beat anybody, just like we did them 2 Bucks last night.
excuse me, Gene. In order to be fair to all parties involved, the executive committee has decided to order 1 week from tonight, right here on Nitro.
1 week from tonight?
Right, a rematch between the Steiner brothers and Harlem Heat, and I guarantee you this time, Gene, we will not have a tainted victory.
Or outside interference. Well, wait a minute.
Deal right here, JJ.
Wait a minute.
What you want, man?
Wait a second. Vincent from the NWO.
That was an early Christmas gift from the real bad boys, the Outsiders, and the NWO.
You trying to say that the Outsiders might have had a better chance with us?
It's
the Steiners?
I'm just saying you got the opportunity.
Tell you something, man. We will beat the NWO. We already beat the Steiners. And guess what? We finna whoop you.
Oh, they suckered him in.
There they go, pounding away now on Vincent Fence. We've got to get out of here. We'll be right back with more live on
boy.
Look at this.
Oh, smack him.
Stay right where you are.
Poke him in the eye. Kick him again.
WCW Monday Nitro continues to be the standard leader in professional wrestling around the world. As you can see, this capacity crowd on hand here at the United Center. Next Monday, Macon, Georgia, the Macon Coliseum. You know, this past week I had a chance to meet 2 young gentlemen from Atlanta, Pat Sparks and Todd Dixon, who told me that when Nitro came to Atlanta earlier this year, they had their mom stand in line for 6 hours just to get a ringside ticket. That's how hot WCW Monday Nitro is with the youngsters around the world.
Oh, what a couple of spoiled brats, having their own ladies stand in line.
Well, whatever.
In Hollywood Hogan, there's an example. He's already lying to his mother.
And how about next Monday for everyone in Atlanta? Take the hour drive to Macon and join us for Nitro.
No question. Here we go. Here is the Wolf Pack, and I call them the Wolf Pack.
The Rat Pack.
You can call them the Outsiders, maybe when they wrestle for the Tag Team Championship, but along with Syxx, they are the Wolf Pack, and the Wolf Pack means basically that they are going to enforce things for the NWO, Mike, today.
Yeah, and wasn't it nice to see the NWO outnumbered by the Harlem Heat as they took care of Vincent?
Yeah, finally the tide had turned, but I still don't go for the Wolf Pack. To me, they're a bunch of cowards. That's why they pack together. Real men walk out alone.
All right, WCW presents the Cruiserweight Championship as Syxx will defend against Rey Mysterio Jr. in this battle. And don't forget, still to come tonight, live, Dennis Rodman, Hollywood Hogan against Lex Luger and the Giant. Rey Mysterio Jr. will make his entrance in the match after this timeout. Welcome back, fans, to WCW Monday Nitro. The Cruiserweight Championship will be decided, and Mike Tenay and I are joined by Bobby the Brain Heenan for this one, the beginning of our second hour. You know, Brain, what a big time tag team main event we have to come later on here tonight with Hogan and Rodman going up against Luger and the Giant live tonight.
Maybe the biggest match in the history of a wrestling match ever held on television. And you know the way Rodman's frame of mind is. You know Hogan's frame of mind and the NWO. Well, the Giant and Luger to me look like they're ready. Something's going to happen tonight.
Here we have Rey Mysterio Jr. and Syxx, and Rey Mysterio has been in this situation before, going up against Syxx and knowing that the Wolfpack are there.
Mysterio certainly deserves another title shot. Every championship opportunity has been met by outsiders' interference. It's so important to Rey Jr. to regain the world's title belt that basically put him on the map.
You know, they're trying to corner the youngster here, and they realize that he is not afraid. They realize that he is a former champion, and how will we ever forget the scene when the young man was speared into the at Disney when we had WCW's Monday Nitro from Disney this past summer, speared into one of the trailers on the outside. It was a vivid memory that we'll never forget. We didn't think the man would ever wrestle again, but here he is going into the wolf den, so to speak, against Syxx, the Cruiserweight champ. Really tough match for the young man, Brain.
Well, what I like about Syxx is he's cocky. He's got an attitude. And hanging around with the big guys in the NWO really gives him that little extra edge. And he's a tremendous athlete. You can't take that away from him.
No, you're exactly right. Sending now Mysterio in. Boy, oh boy. Mysterio goes up and goes down hard. Ladies and gentlemen, as the Cruiserweight match continues, we welcome you to hour number 2 of WCW Monday Nitro. The hour that has set the standard for our sports. A capacity crowd on hand. We are at the United Center in Chicago. It's been a day of celebration for the entire city. And WCW Monday Nitro, glad to be part of it, as Syxx now goes to work, Mike Tenay, on Rey Mysterio. And what force with that leg drop that time?
Well, there's no questioning the ability of Syxx, the world's Cruiserweight champion. But just for once, I would like to see Mysterio and Syxx in one-on-one competition.
Yeah, but that will never happen with the NWO. You know that. And what is this?
Showing such disrespect that he's putting the cigar ashes on the back of Mysterio's neck.
That's incredible. And to the attack again. Syxx so confident, so cocky, normally, but even more so when these guys are out here with him.
That's their mentality, Shivani.
Here he goes, Syxx. Oh, boy.
Riding cowboy. That's an insult.
Not only that, look what it does. The chin, the neck, on the turnbuckle, and the force down on the shoulders, that can really herniate some disc, hurt a neck. That is a serious type wrestling maneuver that can take someone out of the sport.
Yeah, just good place for the neck to go, nowhere for it to move as he continues to jump up and down on the back of Mysterio.
There's a place for it to go. It could break. It can go either way then.
That's
sideways,
the one option.
Yeah, that's the option. And they don't mind breaking your neck.
What is that he has across his tights, gentlemen? Does that say thug?
It's certainly an appropriate name.
Oh. Is there a no smoking policy here in the United Center?
You go put it out.
Forget it. I believe that's what it says. Thug, Syxx, the Cruiserweight champ.
You go rip that cigar butt out of his yap and step on it and see what happens to you.
And a Syxx showing, oh boy, the same thing last night that happened in the tag team match, that it's very tough or difficult to get the belts away from the NWO once they have them. And the question is, when Syxx and Ric Flair battled out of the ring area last night and Flair did not return, what happened? Was Flair, was he knocked out? Did he just not make it back? Did the fight continue all the way out in the street?
I couldn't find anything last night. I called all day, his room, nothing.
But he's in the building, we understand. We're going to get the answer in this hour.
That's what I hear.
Mean Gene Okerlund will be talking to Ric Flair later on in this telecast.
You gentlemen realize something, the history of Chicago here, the great wrestling matches there has been here at the amphitheater, Soldiers Field, Rosemont Horizon, and now probably the biggest match in the history of Chicago, Hulk Hogan, Dennis Rodman.
Yeah,
it's Luger and the Giant.
That's a great point. In this city, rich in wrestling tradition, you are going to see maybe the biggest match ever. That tag team match later on here tonight. Live on Nitro. Syxx on the outside. Rey Mysterio Jr. with a head of steam that time. Put the brakes on.
Faked him out with that move, but talk about high risk. Oh my! Somersault flip plancha over the top ring post.
We could have a new champion here, gentlemen. Can he get back in there?
And the fans are loving this now as Syxx is crawling. He is being surrounded on either side. There you see Nash. Hall dropped down as well. They were both up.
It's like being surrounded by 6 guys.
And that's exactly right, and you know it's just a matter of time. Same thing we saw earlier with Wrath out here during Mortis's match. You knew it would be a matter of time
Mysterio stands a chance of beating him.
It could happen right here, Mike, tonight.
This could be the Huracan Rana off the top.
He's going for his move. You're right, the Huracan Rana.
He's got him.
One, and he beats. There it is.
Wouldn't you know it?
Absolutely. Hall and Nash are in, and he's going to fight both men. He used Scott Hall as a springboard. He set Nash down. Hall on the outside.
This can't last long.
Rey Mysterio Jr. took him out. Oh, boy. And he gets wiped out.
Well, he just measured him.
There's the Buzz Killer.
He's got it on.
Well, he had it going there for a while.
I tell you, the young man gave it all he had that time. And that time, it was not the big guys who really interfere, with the exception of getting his attention away from his opponent. And their diversion created the win for Syxx, who has the Buzz Killer on.
He's already submitted.
It will not let go.
He's not going to let go.
Wasn't too long ago, JJ came out and told him to break the hold, and they really spit right in his face. Finally, they let go, and I think Rey Mysterio may be hurt here. Well, Syxx continues his reign as Cruiserweight Champion, and as we said earlier, gentlemen, when...
Well, J.J. Dillon talked about tainted victories earlier.
What are they trying to do?
They're not done with him yet.
Come on.
The man is already hurt.
Enough of this. Oh, my. Jackknife powerbomb.
He's got neck damage from that.
You're not kidding.
And that man, Kevin Nash right there, is well at 7 feet tall.
I would encourage security to come out to try to stop this, get him out of the ring, and good maneuver.
I wouldn't move him yet. I would not move him. They don't have to.
And I realize that, but I mean,
But if you don't move him, they're going to stay on him.
That's exactly right. You shouldn't move the man. Oh, for crying out loud. So they got the microphone.
Yeah, brag about it.
Really easy picking on a little guy, I can tell you that.
Just like on the Discovery Channel, people, survival of the fittest. He found out, like Piper and Flair found out, that the Wolf Pack, it's the strongest beast in the jungle, baby. Last night, we divided the herd, and hey, Piper, you might have put up a fight, but that just makes the kill that much sweeter. Death to an icon! Hey, yo. We've heard so much about Piper and Flair and how they're the icons. Well, last night, the Wolfpack beat them. So to those guys, I just want to say, whatever. But a special treat for everybody in Chicago is a real icon. He's the master of the madness. He's the one and only Macho Man, Randy Savage.
It's a wonder he can walk. You know, we talked a lot about last night, what occurred during that Savage Takes 2. Yeah. I mean, they went everywhere. In the mark of the quad. In the lobby, they destroyed the VIP section. And as you said earlier, Mike, for Nick Patrick, really maybe saving the career of Diamond Dallas Page, because he was going to pile drive him on the concrete after he already wiped out really 2 referees, had nailed Nick Patrick later on in that program. And madness is right when you talk about the Macho Man. He is mad.
Well, that Page-Savage battle last night almost mirrored the entire Great American Bash. Top to bottom, brutal, physical action, all concluding with that main event Falls Count Anywhere war.
Well, remember this, gentlemen. They weren't going to pile drive him on that floor just one time. They were going to take turns with him. He'd look like applesauce when they were done with him.
And if you see the encore presentation tomorrow, you'll know Scott Hall had a hand in the victory.
You know, everybody knows that Chicago is in WO territory. And March, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you're NWO, you're NWO for life. Last last night, the madness rocked the place, yeah, did. I'd like to pay homage to the rest of the New World Order. The Wolf Pack is cool, brother. How about Hollywood Hulk Hogan and the Rodman right here in Chi-Town, the Windy City, oh yeah.
I'm digging it the most.
You like it, don't you?
March, if I could get a word with you.
Absolutely.
I had to leave the arena early last night. I didn't get to see what happened with you and Diamond Dallas Page, but I understand it was one of your most stellar performances.
It was sweet. Absolutely. Past, present, and future, nobody better. I was on top of my game. Ooh, yeah.
This is an incredible show.
Hey! Stop it!
We are. Where's that voice from?
I'm over here, you idiot!
That's DDP.
Hey!
Where is he?
Nice job last night.
He's up in the
Real
rafters.
nice. You proved to everybody that you couldn't get the job done yourself.
No, you did the job.
You needed Hogan twice to take me out. And now you're tag teaming with Hall. Well, that's cool. That's real cool. Because nobody knows Scott Hall better than I do. So I got on the phone last night and I made a few calls to some key players. And I found myself a tag team partner. And everybody here knows who he is. So if you got the jack, Savage, and you too, Hall, let's get it on at the Bash at the Beach. Bang! Bang!
He's got a partner, and he said everyone knows who it is. He's up in the rafters looking down at the ring.
Keep running your mouth, Paige. We'll send Rodman up there to take care of you.
They might just do that.
Fans, we've got to step out for a commercial break. Still to come, Rodman Hogan live against the Giant and Lex Luger and more, live on Nitro from Chicago and the United Center. So how about the challenge we've heard, Brain, now from Diamond Dallas? Says he made a phone call last night after that brutal war he encountered with not only Savage, but with Scott Hall, and we all saw that. And he has himself a tag team partner for Bash at the Beach to go up against Savage and Scott Hall.
Well, he's playing games now with everybody. He's getting smart. He's not going to tip his hand. And did you see the face on Diamond Dallas Page? Did you see the lumps and the welts, the beating that man took last night?
Yep.
And he's still standing here wanting Macho Man Savage.
The
and
remnants
Scott Hall.
of a brutal war that we saw last night, and you can see the encore presentation on pay-per-view beginning tomorrow night. Make that appropriate phone call. What a great matchup last night. The Ultimate Dragon and Psychosis, and now the Ultimate Dragon makes his way into the ring against a man he knows quite well, and we know quite well, in Lionheart Chris Jericho. We are talking about two-man combatants who've had a long time running feud. They're rivals in Japan, and they both have wrestled against each other. They were part of the war promotion in Japan. Jericho just back from a stint in, wait a second. What a Sonny Ono one. That's an envelope full of cash here. Oh, don't let him take the picture. What was this envelope about? Trying to pay him off or something?
Well, I doubt if he wanted an autograph. Yes, there's probably cash in there. He's a businessman.
Chris Jericho back from a recent tour of Japan where he wrestled with New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's back in the ring, and he will now go one-on-one against the Ultimate Dragon. And we do understand for Chris Jericho, next up for him, he's going to get a shot at Syxx in the Cruiserweight Championship coming up this Saturday on WCW Saturday Night. Apparently, Sonny Ono just trying to buy another man, maybe to try to take out the Ultimate Dragon here.
That's what I think's on the back of his mind, that respect.
Into the ropes now. Ultimate Dragon missed that one. Up on top. Jericho tried to roll him through, and he held the ropes nicely. Dragon lowers his head and runs right into him, and Jericho sends him right down. Big leg drop. And he'll try and cover now. 1, 2. Got a 2 count. Later on, ladies and gentlemen, in the second hour, Hollywood Hogan, Dennis Rodman, the tag team main event. It has been signed against Luger and the Giant. That is tonight. And look at that big suplex by the Lionheart.
Just like I said earlier, Tony, this will be the biggest match in the history of wrestling in Chicago. No doubt about it. And when you get a competitor in there like Rodman, and you get a guy with a big mouth and a lot of power and money, and a guy that likes to tell people a lot of lies like Hogan, and you get Bischoff out there and every member of the NWO, what do you think's going to happen? Rodman's going to be on a cloud. He's going to be so high tonight, he's going to probably take them both on by himself. He's never backed down from a challenge, you know that.
No, not at all. Back up now is the Dragon, pulling back on the arms into the ropes here. And this is where Jericho wants him. There's a great backhand chop by Chris Jericho, the Lionheart. Jericho, a young man who certainly could become a champion this Saturday against Syxx. But don't forget, the Wolfpack's probably going to be around. And here we go. Oh! Then repeated fire kicks that time by the Ultimate Dragon here.
Tony, I don't think I've ever seen a man's feet move that fast. Oh! Wow. Listen.
The Ultimate Dragon, truly one of the most gifted athletes we have seen in a long, long time. And the amazing story is that virtually unknown in Japan, did not become a superstar until he went to Mexico to wrestle there. Oh boy.
And at one time, what did he hold, 9 titles?
9 titles.
Wow.
Oh! At one time.
Not
throughout his career, at one time. Up on top, Jericho with the drop kick, sending the man on the outside. Chris Jericho, that time just dropped right down on him.
They got him in the bicep, good. He could have tore the man's bicep there.
And he landed on his feet to Jericho and may have done some damage. As you can see now, the Ultimate Dragon holding on to the arm.
It's the left arm.
The left arm, and the Dragon trying to get up. Of course, he has the Hurricanrana maneuver that we have seen, the Asahi moonsault from the outside, and of course that patented Dragon sleeper of his. So many ways this Ultimate Dragon can win a match. Up on top, sending to the inside, did Jericho. And Jericho hits him with a running lariat. Covers 1, 2. And Jericho almost got the win that time, Brain.
Well, that's a good cover. You saw the way he hooked the leg, hooked his arm around the neck, had the man in a pin position, but there's still a lot of fight in the Ultimate Dragon.
Into the corner and up on top. This is a tough place to be. Dragon sent him up and chopped him to keep him up there. And now the Dragon. Oh, look at good maneuver by Jericho. Jericho's got the balance. Jericho has the Dragon.
He's going out on Madison Street.
And I really think right there a mistake by the Dragon. Oh boy, they both dropped down. And that time Jericho got the worst of it. Rolls him up, 1, 2, and got a 2 count that time.
Close.
The Mahi Straw Cradle almost got the pin that time for the Dragon as he had rolled him up.
You got to say something about the conditioning of these athletes.
Oh boy. Send him down again, a cover, 1, 2, and once again, you talking about conditioning of the athletes. Jericho showing conditioning, getting out of those pinning predicaments each and every time.
Look at the strength of this man.
Power bombs him down. Picks him up again and power bombs him a second time.
2 in a row.
That is power personified. Jericho covers 1, 2.
After that second power bomb, Jericho should have cradled him, or he should have sunset flipped him.
Tried a handspring, caught him into a full Nelson, got out of that, rolling through 1, 2. The Dragon the other side, 1, 2, no. And Jericho escaped that one. Many near falls so far. Slide, 1, 2, 3, pending. The Tiger suplex got him down. And the Ultimate Dragon with the win here on Nitro. You're talking about a man who is red hot in singles competition. It is the Dragon. Still to come, great action live on Nitro.
Hogan Rodman. Wow.
Standing by on the telephone on behalf of 1-800-COLLECT is Lee Marshall, who is in Macon, Georgia. Hello there, Lee Marshall.
Hey, Tony, you know, I'm here with Chip Berman, the 6-time promoter of the year, and his staff is now freeing up some additional tickets. You need to call the Macon Coliseum box office first thing tomorrow, though, to ensure you'll have Nitro tickets when we come to Macon. We've got a great tie-in with rock and roll here. You know, the Allman Brothers come from Macon, Otis Redding's from here, the birthplace of Richard Penniman, known better as Little Richard. You guys know Little Richard gave us too. It's like Tutti Frutti and Lucille and Long Tall Sally. Now, as a rock and blues historian, I can tell you Long Tall Sally was not the original name of that song. Little Richard intended to call it No Class Heenan, but he couldn't find enough words to rhyme with weasel. And that's your 1-800-COLLECT Road Report from Macon, Georgia. I'm Lee Marshall for 1-800-COLLECT.
Thanks a lot, Lee. And now let's go to Mean Gene Okerlund.
Tony, I thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, in the city of Champion, Chicago, Illinois. Let's hear it as I welcome a true icon, Roddy Piper.
What an ovation for the icon.
He's no stranger to Chicago, or a stranger to any wrestling fan that has ever watched television or been to a match.
Roddy Piper, listen to this crowd here tonight in the Windy City. They very much aware of what took place last night at the Great American Bash between you and the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. You're two of the greatest stars in this great sport, two of the greatest stars we've ever seen in wrestling, and I've got to believe there's some kind of a misunderstanding.
Well, I want to clear something up right away. Dennis Rodman, you cannot borrow my kilt tonight. I don't care. And neither can the ones that are booing. Now, in our fine sport, I've been around and I've been to the zoo a long time. And the shameful part ain't getting knocked down. The shameful part's not getting up. And I'm hearing all kinds of things about where was Flair. Halfway through the tag match, Flair decided to go out and get his hair done. That's what somebody told me. Personally, I don't believe it. Ric Flair has been one of my best friends for that many years.
That many?
That's a lot of years. And I don't believe the rumors are saying about Ric Flair leaving me to the wolves in the ring. And next time I'm left to the wolves, I'm going to make a pair of slippers out of them. So what I want to do is I want to hear it from the horse's mouth himself. If Flair duked me, I want Flair to tell me. So bring out Ric Flair.
How about that? Piper calling for the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, the 13-time former WCW heavyweight champion of the world, a man that is very popular here in Chicago. Listen to the reaction of this capacity crowd. Oh my. He's in the house. Oh, I thought we were going to get a little river dance here tonight.
Hot Rod! Woo!
Gentlemen.
How are you, my friend? You won the match, didn't you?
I tell you, Rick, it was mighty lonesome out there. You know, I've been alone all my life, but you left me with a couple of Sasquatches. I come back in the dressing room, there ain't no Flair, there ain't no Flair bag, there ain't no Flair Liberace robe, there ain't no nothing. This is the first time I've seen you since last night. How you been, champ?
Let me assure you of two things. First of all, you're my friend for life. I will never leave your side. And when I cleared the curtain with Syxx last night, I had the fight of my life going on. You are the icon, you're Roddy Piper, you're my man, and I'll stand by you forever, pal.
That's good enough for me. Clean up the rollers. Let's not let the tail wag the dog. I'll tag with you anytime.
Mean Gene!
We're
going downtown tonight.
Gibson's, I would assume. I think a misunderstanding has been cleared up here live on Nitro. Tony, back to you.
Well, thanks a lot. Apparently, he said the fight of his life, and you know and I know, Brain, the fight that ensued with Syxx was a bitter battle, and apparently continued all the way through the match and to the end of the match, and Flair was not able to come back and continue the match with Piper.
Well, when I read into this, there's a lot more that went on back there than we know about. Flair had his hands full a lot more than he's really saying right now.
Well, I think so.
Oh, I think they really did a number.
And I agree with that, or Flair would have returned.
Oh, of course. He would not walk out on Piper.
Well, you know, the NWO last night, when you really dissect the Great American Bash, last night the NWO did a lot. I mean, they had a profound impact on the #1 contender match with Vincent coming out, enabling the disqualification and putting out Harlem Heat in that match. You heard that they're going to have a rematch next Monday here on Nitro with Harlem Heat and the Steiners. Then, of course, with Syxx getting Flair away from Piper, they retain the World Tag Team Championship. Then, thanks to Scott Hall, the Macho Man wins the match. So last night at the Great American Bash, or Great American Brawl, whatever you want to call it, it was a night where the NWO picked its shots and came through.
Well, it wasn't no fluke. They made sure this was going to happen. They planned this all out. You can see that. You're right, Tony. It was NWO's night last night.
In many ways it was, and it was a night, and this is really surprising if you saw the Great American Bash last night. Surprising to see these two men out together, because Jeff Jarrett came in last night with the Halliburton, a second Halliburton, trying to hit Kevin Green, ended up hitting Mongo, and then didn't help him when Kevin Green executed the pin.
And Deborah was beside herself.
And we'll talk more about that and have the match next. We welcome you back live to WCW Monday Nitro, where tonight Hulk Hogan and Dennis Rodman will wrestle Lex Luger and the Giant.
Repeat that to me again.
Hulk Hogan and Dennis Rodman tonight will wrestle Lex Luger and the Giant live. First of all, another NWO tandem of Buff Bagwell and Scott Flash Norton, and they have been red hot in this sport, will face Mongo McMichael and Jeff Jarrett of the Horsemen Classic NWO versus Horsemen matchup here. Bobby the Brain.
Well, you know, these teams are about even, because I don't know how long Norton and Buff Bagwell have been together, just like Jarrett and Mongo haven't been together that long. This is very interesting. Norton's a very, very powerful man. World-class arm wrestling champion.
One of the strongest ever. Once again, a very special hello to our great fans in Southern California, in Los Angeles, the Great Western Forum. We're going to be part of the scene on a very special Saturday night, June 28th. Tickets available at the Great Western Forum box office and Ticketmaster. It's billed as a very special Saturday night show.
This ain't the NFL, punk! It's NWO!
Well, actually, it's WCW Monday Nitro.
I think he needs a nap.
He's always been a very high-strung individual. And one of the most powerful men as well. To the midsection with a knee. This is where you don't want to get caught against Scott Flash Norton.
No, not at all. Look at the girth on this man.
Norton comes out with a punter, and that was a bulldog. And a great one by Mongo.
A great move by Mongo.
Big reception and a big ovation for Steve McMichael, the monster of the Midway. He was one of the most phenomenal athletes in this city during the late 80s, and he has become a great pro wrestler as well. Here's a tag, and here comes the United States Heavyweight Champion, Jeff Jarrett.
You better duck that.
Oh boy, when that 300-pound frame gets moving, it can run right through you, and you saw what happened that time with Scott Flash Norton, Buff Bagwell on the outside, and the U.S. champ in trouble here. Now, last night, we saw what happened with the Halliburton cake. We talked about it on the back of the head, inadvertently, of Mongo. But the surprising thing was that Jeff Jarrett then did not go in to save his partner. And then, as a result, Deborah got very angry at a man she's been following closely, and that is Jeff Jarrett.
Well, I think what happened, he realized what happened when he hit Mongo. He went back down on the floor, and then he said, oh, I can't believe this happened, and Guerrero was up in his face. I think he was just shocked.
Well, I'm not so sure about that, but there's a drop kick in the back of the head, and a big...
Oh! A big, heavy man to pick up.
But he did it with ease that time, and Jarrett is caught in the clutches of Flash Norton, and this is where the U.S. champ does not want to be. And here we go, Buff Bagwell of the NWO.
And he's cocky and he's fresh.
Yes, he is. He really is cocky, very confident, but he's very, very powerful as well.
Now watch Bagwell. Look at the explosive action. Look at the explosive moves he makes. He wasn't like that a year ago. He's got a whole new frame of mind now. I like this.
I don't know. He's always had explosive moves, Brain.
No,
he's got a cocky attitude that you seem to like.
Well, look at this. I like this. He's proud of himself.
Brain, he's got NWO around his neck for crying out loud.
That's right, but he's proud of himself.
So what? I'm not going to argue with you about it.
I'm not going to argue with you either.
By the hair one more time. Speaking of the NWO, the dramatic entrance at the beginning of the program of the Worm, Dennis Rodman with Hulk Hogan, and later on they will be wrestling Lex Luger and the Giant here on this program.
Just occurred to me.
What did?
What will Rodman wear to the ring?
Well, he's always said as bad as he wants to be, and knowing his attire, I don't know.
This is Nitro.
That's exactly right.
And he's with the NWO.
That's right. Atomic drop, inverted one that time by the U.S. champ into the midsection. Here comes Jeff Jarrett, swinging neck breaker on target. And Jarrett with some great offense here in this tag team matchup. Horsemen against NWO live on Nitro. Very confidently puts him in. The weight of Jeff Jarrett on the back of the neck. And the throat and the upper body of Buff Bagwell. And he struts over to Mongo. Jeff Jarrett did not make a tag. Goes back to the center of the ring again. Steve kind of stuck his hand out that time, but it's going to still be Jeff Jarrett in the ring now for the Horsemen.
Well, Jeff Jarrett makes the call. It's usually the man in the ring that makes the call.
Okay.
It's like the relief pitcher. He doesn't come in when he wants when the man wants him in. You're the general in that ring as long as you're in there.
Good point, Brain. There's a foot to the face now, and tumbling down hard is Buff Bagwell. Scoop slam again. So one day removed now from the Great American Bash. Seemingly, any problems that existed last night, if any did, were patched up. It certainly was a mistake on the part of Jeff Jarrett, but he was helped by Kevin Green pulling Mongo's head down quickly. Big running lariat now by Buff Bagwell. Tony, you don't want to do that unless you want to try to get him in the ring. This is a smart move by Mongo. He stayed his ground, and that enabled the referee to keep his attention on the action.
Because if he'd have gotten in that ring, the referee would have gone to him and they'd have had 15, maybe 20 seconds just to work on Jarrett.
That's right. And Jarrett is in trouble here, the U.S. heavyweight champion in this tag match, and quick tags now by members of the New World Order. As strong as ever. Maybe you fans would agree with me by saying the NWO stronger than ever. 1, 2. 2 count.
And they're stronger all over around the world, too. Look what they just did in Japan with Muda.
With Muda and Masahiro Chono.
Right.
Uppercut. That time Jarrett put the brakes on. Great maneuver by Jarrett. Jarrett's going to send him to the neutral corner. Head first. And again, Jeff Jarrett taking most of this matchup. Missed the right hand. Oh my goodness. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold back now. And he's
not.
He got them both in. Here comes Mongo. Up and down.
Slap 76 in the face and see what happens here in Chicago. That's what happens.
Jarrett
on your tail.
Jarrett wants Mongo to strut with him, and Mongo will have none of it. As a matter of fact,
he's had enough of it.
He's had enough of it.
See ya.
Pile driver.
Jarrett, I watched the tape last night, and when you do something like that to Mongo, you're gonna suffer the consequences, baby. I leave you to the wolves.
And that's what he's done. Jarrett's not moving.
No doubt about it. Mongo waited for his opportunity. Look, his eyes aren't blinking. He's laying there with his eyes open. I don't know if he can see anything or not. He is unconscious.
Here's the cover. It's academic now. The NWO will win this one. And as Jarrett wanted to strut, Mongo had other plans. And look at Deborah.
That's what he did. Moving out of order here. He deserves that.
Stand behind your man.
I don't care if it was an accident. You hit me in the back. You're gonna suffer the consequences. And it's over for you, baby. I don't care who pins you.
Well, we have seen a definite split now. We've talked for months about problems. As they enjoy the win by whatever means necessary, there's no question that Mongo and Jeff Jarrett have parted ways. Jarrett still ain't flat in the ring here, Bray.
Well, no doubt about that. Mongo is such a tremendous competitor, such an athlete. And he never liked Jarrett out there with his wife, and there was always tension there. And I think Mongo just set him up tonight after what happened last night. He says, I'm going to pay you back. No doubt about it. Like you said, Jarrett just left him there. Mongo did what he had to do. Then you slap him in the face. Well, Jarrett didn't slap Mongo in the face, but Mongo had a plan, a big plan.
Well, the slap came from Bagwell that brought Mongo in, and then when Jarrett said, strut with me, the last thing he remembered was the pile driver. And as he is still down right now, the NWO celebrates, and fans, ladies and gentlemen, as Jarrett makes his way out, problems exist with Mongo and Jarrett. Big problems here. We remind you that when we come back here on WCW Monday Nitro, our very next match is going to be Hogan and Robin in tag team action. But before we go to the break now, let's take a look at the replay.
That's right, Shivani. Mongo takes Big Norton off his feet, just levels him. Now Jarrett here, he says, come on, Mongo, you strut with me. Mongo will have no part of this. Here, pal, I won't strut with you, but I'll planch in the middle of that mat. I've had enough of you right now. Courtesy of 76, Steve Mongo McMichaels. See ya, loser.
The monster of the Midway, Chicago's own Steve McMichael, making a definite statement here on WCW Monday Nitro. Thus, the NWO gets the easy 1, 2, 3. Well, it's been in many ways a breathtaking night. And if you even go back to last night, a breathtaking weekend, as there's the 1, 2, 3.
And don't forget this, Tony. The best is yet to come.
The best is yet to come. And
Rodman Hogan.
Rodman Hogan still to come here on WCW Monday Nitro.
Hey, the worm and the rat.
That's a great point.
That's right.
Fans, we will have that big main event match after this timeout on TNT.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Just when you thought you had all the merchandise the NWO had to offer? No, you're wrong! The NWO for Life shirt. Get it? Sweet.
Get your NWO for Life t-shirt for only $20. Just call 1-800-NWO-0242.
Fly the new colors, New World Order. Look what we added. For life.
The preceding announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Everyone is standing in the United Center in anticipation of an explosive tag team main event that we have for you exclusively live here on WCW Monday Nitro.
Well, not only are they standing here, Tony, they're standing in every sports bar, every home across this world to see this one. Here in Chicago.
Well, there you see Rodman, jeans and an NWO Rodman shirt on. He is holding that world title belt that Hollywood owns. 2 world champions out together. 2 men.
Doesn't look like he has a lot of respect for the belt, does he?
Well, did he ever?
I mean, Hogan I'm talking about.
Of course he doesn't.
Of course
he never does. And they are going to take their time here making their way to the ring. As the fans stand here.
This is history.
This is history. This is a history-making moment in our sport.
What a day for Chicago. Big celebration in the park, and now Nitro here.
At Grant Park, you're exactly right.
Had the mayor there and everything.
And Nitro here tonight.
Rodman's beginning to look like Hogan.
You think so?
Yeah, everybody in NWO has been looking alike.
Well, of course, it's arrogance. Arrogance makes people look that way. You're arrogant too, as a matter of fact. And as they make their way to the ring, they're standing here at the United Center, capacity crowd on hand. This has been quite a night, and it's not over yet.
What a match for Nitro. What a match for Chicago. What a match for television.
Rodman, Hogan.
I can't see it getting more any better than this.
You know, we know what type of athlete Rodman is, and we know what he can do, but be very interesting to see what he can do against someone like the Giant. You know, he's gone up against big, tall men before, but not a big, tall man that wants to choke slam you.
Oh, there's a lot of people.
This is what we all been waiting for. Just like my main man, Dirty Dog, Hot Rod Dennis Rodman, chumped those dudes in Utah. We've been hanging out with the madness in the back room. And the Macho Man, ooh yeah, said go out and chump Flexi Lexi and that big stinky giant. We heard them talking in the back. We heard them when their voice quivered. And the Dirty Dog said it ain't nothing but talk because they can't walk the walk. How bad do you want to beat them up, brah?
I'm ready. Let's get it on, baby. Hollywood. Let's get it on, Hollywood. I'm ready, Hollywood.
He's ready. And so are we. Hogan
Where
rips
you
off
at?
the shirt.
Where you at?
We'll stay out here all night long until you cowards come out here. Get out here and take the beating you're getting served. Get them out here.
Calling out Luger and the Giant fans. We're going to step out for a very short break. When we come
Get them out
back,
here.
Luger and the Giant and the main event. Okay, there you see Rodman and Hogan still in the ring here.
Hollywood. You know, we've been out here for 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I still haven't seen the Giant. Lex, you know what? You know what? I'm wasting my time. I got somewhere to go tonight. You know, I don't want to be here all night. So let's get the hell out of here.
Wait, hold on a second. And where are Luger and the Giant?
You got me.
Hogan and Rodman now walking away from the ring. And here we go. Now I hope they meet him right in the aisleway here.
That may have been Luger's plan.
Good point, Brain. You're probably right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, wait no longer. Luger and the Giant are here. And there, Hogan and Rodman do not look so cocky and confident the way they looked at the beginning of the program and then just 2 minutes ago. All right, here we go.
Rodman's not backing up. He's saying, come on.
You know how much you're at a disadvantage when you try to crawl in the ring and you take your eyes off your opponents? They really wanted to wait till they got out of the ring, I thought, but now they've chased him back in the ring, so they got to be very cautious getting to the ring area once again.
Mind game.
Would you look at that hairdo? Wow. Dennis Rodman, Hollywood Hogan, Giant Luger, big-time sporting main event here, fans.
Big-time athletes in that ring.
And Hogan, apparently Hogan cannot wait to get his hands on him.
And everybody's standing here.
Yeah, and look at this now. Once they get in the ring, they want to back up here.
I wonder how much preparation Rodman and Hogan have done together.
Knowing how arrogant and cocky they are. Here they go! Rodman is in the clutches of the Giant!
He's got him!
And the Giant trying to get him up. He's got him! Look at this! He's got Rodman up!
Does he ever?
And down hard goes Rodman as Hogan attacked the Giant from behind.
Uh-oh, here we go. Oh, you see fear in Hogan there, don't you?
Rodman's got the belt. Luger's been wiped out, and Rodman nails the Giant with the world title belt. The Giant is down as well. The
Luger's
Giant
down.
goes down hard. down with him out. Oh! And now the Wolfpack has come out. The fans littering the ring.
Look at that.
The NWO in a massive assault on Luger and the Giant.
Rodman's good.
The Giant and Luger both are out. Once again, we have seen a master plan by the NWO.
Look at that, Tony. Rodman he's not afraid of anyone. He's got the Giant laid out, and there he is, a member of the NWO, Dennis Rodman.
In the clutches. Rodman's got the world title belt, and he's gonna get the spray can out. We saw this not too long ago. Luger remembers this at Uncensored when he had him down. And now the Wolfpack lays him out for Rodman. For the NWO spray painting. They lured him into the ring, not on the premise of having a match, but on the premise of taking him out. The New World Order.
Well, it's 5 against 2.
And now the Macho Man gets in the ring.
6 against 2.
Strength in numbers. Men who stay together, dominate the scene, just like they did last night. They are doing here tonight once again.
I guarantee you something, Schiavone. When Luger gets 2 and the Giant gets 2, this is not over.
Believe you me, it's not over, because as our fans know, on the 13th of July, a tag team main event sign for Bash of the Beach.
When you're messing with the NWO,
to prevent things like
you're
this
messing with us
in the end.
Because well, I'm going to guarantee you this. Hogan and Rodman are going to change the face and the course of our sport if we don't do something about it right now.
You know, we wondered about how good of a wrestler would Dennis Rodman be. He really didn't have to show us much tonight, except taking the title belt and nailing some guys, but he did show courage in the ring by going in and meeting the Giant and Lex Luger.
He shows me he won't be backing up.
He will not. For the Brain, for Mike Tenay, for Larry Zbyszko, good night, everybody.